The Mclaren eyewear collection is not only one of the most technically impressive ranges of frames ever created, but also manages to combine McLaren's motorsport history with futuristic and almost sci-fi inspired minimalistic tech. And in this video, I'm going to be taking you through the entire McLaren collection and taking the McLaren sunglasses out on the road for a test drive. So hi, I'm Robert, Style and Vision Consultant here at the Spectacle Factory, and it's my job to pair you with your perfect pair of glasses. And if everything that I've said up until now resonates with you, there's a good chance that you will find your perfect glasses within this range. So let's take a look at McLaren. And we'll start with, I guess, the standard pieces from the McLaren collection. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing standard about these frames. But the rimless pieces are by far the most minimalistic that they've created and are probably going to be the most popular because rimless glasses have almost died a death over the last 4 or 5 years since Tag Heuer went out of the industry. And still to this day, we have people who come to us with Tag Heuer frames that they love and cherish and want us to fit new lenses to them. So why am I bringing up Tag Heuer now? Well, number one, there hasn't been a replacement for the sporty and fun and youthful Tag Heuer range of rimless frames up until now. And number two, the same people who designed those frames are now working on McLaren eyewear. And it really does show. From the Formula One rubber, which is incorporated into the temples, an element that's taken directly from Tag Heuer, through to the anatomic nose pads, which mold to the shape of your nose. This is a beautiful design that again was featured in Tag Heuer eyewear. Those two design elements are still here with McLaren, and they combine to give both a really comfortable feel, almost weightless, but solid. And that's the real difference between these and other lightweight rimless frames. Whereas other lightweight rimless frames might be very comfortable, they don't necessarily give that secure and solid feeling. Because of that Formula One grade rubber, which is fitted to the arms, they give effortless grip. And the cool feature of them is that the warmer you get, just like a tyre, the more this will actually grip to your head. So you never have to worry about it slipping down. Despite the fact that there is no grip behind the ear, that area behind our ears is one of the most sensitive parts of our body. One thing you'll find in every McLaren piece are those straight fitting sides which grip to the head. It's also a great feature for those who wear hearing aids because it will neatly tuck inside the hearing aid rather than a normal frame which has to hook around and often has to be adjusted to compensate. Now the rimless range of frames, in fact, I'm pretty sure every model comes in multiple colours. So you have the black, the sleek black, which I've showed you first, the blue, which I guess is the next most subtle colour, and this is the blue colourway, through to orange, which is probably my favourite colour that they do and is very typically McLaren, very, very sporty, through to red, which I envisage, and up until now has been the case, will be the most popular colourway. Red is a very cool, very striking colourway, which instantly appeals to that motorsport heritage. And all these shapes are customizable. So there are a few different shapes, but you can have any shape with any color of arms. And not only that, you can have them custom made to any size that you want. So we will make these to fit your exact width of head. The important thing with that is that it relies on being the right fit for the arms to work and to give you the right grip. So if these are fitted slightly too big, they will just drop off. And if they're fitted slightly too small, you're going to get a lot of pressure on the skull. So they do need to be just right, and that takes a little bit more expertise. But this is something we specialise in. We did that with Tag Heuer glasses back in the day, and we can do it again with McLaren. So whilst the rimless selection is cool, don't get me wrong, they're not necessarily the most exciting pieces for me. But these next two ones certainly are. This pair is made from 3D printed graphite. McLaren have mastered the art of 3D printing to amazing effect. And there are a few different models within the 3D printed graphite range, but this particular pair is my favorite, and I think it's the coolest. I love the double brow bar combined with the almost side shield effect on the sides. They've used 3D printing here to its maximum effect to give that three-dimensionality to the frame. Not only that, they are unbelievably lightweight for what looks like a bold, chunky frame. And although they don't even need it, they do also have soft rubberized nose pads fitted as well. An extra piece of attention to detail, which I really appreciate and makes them even more comfortable and luxurious feeling. That combined with the temples that I've described earlier gives a really unique feeling, but a very good one, a very premium feeling to these glasses. And speaking of the sides, one element that I didn't tell you about up until now, which is super exciting for me, is this new hinge design, which rotates into position, just like a McLaren car door. And it gives a really cool, neat, folded aesthetic to these glasses when you're not wearing them. This really has an amazing amount of solidity to it. It really locks them in position and helps to maximize the effects of the rubber temples. That hinge design is featured again on all McLaren models, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's so cool. And now for the flagship piece, and the one that absolutely blew my mind when I saw it. These are the first glasses in the world made from 3D printed titanium. And what a masterpiece they are. They are an absolute work of art. I get real sci-fi vibes from this frame. I think it looks incredibly futuristic, and it is incredibly futuristic. This is way ahead of our time. And a lot of people won't elect to choose them for that reason. You know, it is just a bit too futuristic for the majority of people. But with a little bit of confidence, if you are looking for something that's very techy and very cool, and you want something that gives you a unique look and you don't want to look like everybody else, I would say this is one of the best frames in the world for that. I love the way that the lenses almost float in place and the way that they've created negative space between the end of the frame and the end of the lens. I love how they feel. I love how they fit. They are unbelievably lightweight, but that's not the thing that makes them feel the best. What makes them feel so incredible is the integrated nosepad design, which I have never seen before. This is the first time I've seen anything like this. We have a one-piece 3D printed front, and the way that those nosepads slide onto the nose, it's incredibly comfortable and incredibly premium feeling. It's always hard to put your finger on why something feels expensive, or for me to even describe to you how something feels when you wear it, but they really do feel incredibly premium to wear. The cold, sleek feel of the smooth titanium is beautiful, and I love this eyewear design. It is a masterpiece. Now, for the fun part of the video, because McLaren glasses, just like McLaren cars, don't belong in the car park, they don't belong in the showroom, they belong out there. So we're going to now road test the McLaren sunglasses, and I'm going to take you along for the journey. So let's go. So I'm actually not far now from where I'm headed, but I just had to stop off here to show you this beautiful view. And it's amazing to realise that we have views like this here in the UK. But what are my thoughts on the McLaren sunglasses so far? Well, I've actually been quietly impressed with them. So this is the McLaren outdoor lens, as they call it, which is designed for kind of general use outdoors. What it is a G15, which is kind of a greenish colour, with polarization, and of course this beautiful, very vibrant yellow stroke gold mirror. And one thing I've been super impressed with is the fact that I've been driving most of the way towards the sun. And even in very direct sunlight, these lenses were protecting me extremely well. I've never at one point felt like I couldn't see clearly or was squinting when I was in very direct sunlight. And the G15 colour is actually very true to life. It gives very realistic colour rendition, which I'm quite enjoying, and a little boost of contrast, which is quite comforting when you're driving as well. Having said that, on a couple of occasions, this being the UK, it did rain, the clouds came. Believe it or not, you can kind of see those grey clouds in the distance, so they are there. And when I was in those situations, I did struggle a little bit with the visibility. These are quite dark sunglasses, which for most people is kind of what they want. You know, for maximum protection, I would definitely recommend them. But for the versatility that I enjoy from some of my other sunglasses, they didn't quite give that. I do love the cosmetics. The aesthetic of this gold lens beautifully pairs against the yellow temples on the frame, and that leads me nicely onto the frames themselves. I cannot fault these frames. I've worn them for a straight 3-hour drive. Never once felt like I needed to take them off or reposition them. The anatomic nose pads are doing a great job of really fitting these well to my nose. Really enjoying the comfort of them, and of course the elastomer rubber sides do what they do. You know, they keep them in place without any pressure on the skull. That's one of the things that's kind of surprised me. You know, I expected these to grip well, that's obviously what they do. But I also expected for there to be maybe a build-up of pressure over time, for them to start to be slightly uncomfortable. But for 3 hours straight, they've been perfect. So frame-wise, I'm super impressed. And I do kind of like the classic style of this aviator look, slightly juxtaposed against the sporty design of the straight-fitting temples. It's kind of a look, you know. I mean, it might not be my look, but it is a look. And credit to Mclaren for developing something pretty different and pretty unconventional. Anyway, with that being said, let's head off to our next destination. Finally reached the end of the road, and I mean literally the end of the road. And this might not be the environment that Mclaren ever envisioned for their sunglasses, but I think it's actually the perfect environment, at least for me. And I say that because I love how the rugged nature, the jagged edges of these rocks contrast against the smooth and almost futuristic look of these 3D printed titanium sunglasses. And these are the flagship Mclaren frames, the best of the best, and some of the most unique, most innovative and most incredible eyewear ever designed. Not just in how it looks, the sleek, futuristic aesthetic, but also how it feels. As good as the nose pads were on the other Mclaren models, these are just the next level. Seriously, in how they feel. They just feel perfectly contoured to my face, and maybe I got lucky with the fit, but genuinely these are just incredibly comfortable. We also have the Yachting Lenses, as they describe it, which are designed for in and around water. And with the surface reflections that you can see all around me, this is perfect because the polarized lens gets rid of all the reflections off any kind of water surface. And the blue mirrored lens, I think, gives a really cool, refreshing vibe as well that's perfectly paired to an aquatic environment. And here in this environment, wearing these shades, I just feel at peace. From the incredible comfort of the frame, these elastomer sides paired with the integrated nosepad design makes these just effortlessly comfortable, through to the high-tech look, through to the very impressive lens quality, just all combines to create a beautiful finished product. And yeah, I'm really happy. time to say goodbye to Scotland. I've had the most incredible day, and thank you so much for coming along for the ride. I hope you've really enjoyed this video, and if you have, give us a like. If you've got any questions about Mclaren eyewear, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more of the most incredible eyewear sourced from all over the world and amazing views like this. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks guys, bye bye.